with the loss of your brother?
Again, it's taking it second by second. I mean, it's literally seems like Monday all over again. I mean, it's living in the moment. Heartfelt, it's grieving.
Have you been able to watch all of the video that has been released of what happened to your brother?
Unfortunately, yeah. And those second things that are down. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, yeah. So, yes, of course, I was able to watch the video and looking back at the video, thinking about it. Again, in 7 minutes in the video, my brother was unconscious, like this, and he kept his foot on the deck for actually 2 minutes. And, lifeless body at 7 minutes. And he's looking constantly down at my brother. You see, he's lifeless. No humanity in him at all. And all of them. And at 9 minutes, finally, lets up. And I mean, very horrific video. And then at the other angle, the second video, when we see him behind the van, you see the other officers, one on the legs, one on his back, and the other one was knee on his neck. And that's so horrific. My brother even urinated on himself. I mean, have y'all seen the video? There was not no humanity, and the grown man urinating on themselves, begging for air, gasping, pleading. I guess Minneapolis trained killers, they're not training police officers. I don't know what they train. And using lethal force on a guy that's being very compliant. I mean, I'm gonna have to recommend somebody to train your whole academy out there.
Rodney Floyd, knowing that this problem of the white police officer killing the unarmed black man has been with this country for the entirety of our history, is this a worry that you had in your own life that something like this could happen to you or could happen to your brother?
Well, yes, I'm worried about it since childhood, since teenage years. And not just to me or my brother, to every black man, black boy, teenager in this country. We don't know what it seems that happens to. And yes, I'm worried every day. I go out. I mean, it's sad. We shouldn't have to live this way. There's no laws to protect us. I think we might go in this dangerous list. We need somebody to make a law for us, but we can survive.
Rodney, how did you find? Let me ask you, Rodney, how you found out that your brother was killed, and what was that moment like when you got this news?
Well, again, the great people of Minneapolis, great people. He had friends send me a video, unfortunately saying, "Hey, look at this video, is very disturbing." And again, it's at 5:00 in the morning. Reached out to me and a couple of them saying, "Hey, look at the video. I plead." They praying that it's not him, hoping it's not him. And I'm like, "What are y'all talking about? My brother's okay." And, I got the link sent to me. I watched it, and fortunately, the friends were just so upset. They called me back. Is it him? Is it him? And unfortunately, I had to say, yeah, because, I know my brother. I had to watch the whole video to know it was him as soon as I saw him. So I found out. Heart dropped. I was lost for words again. Didn't know what to do. I was just in a moment. And it hurts. It hurts. It hurt. And it just hurted so bad when I found out, man. I just didn't know what to do. Didn't want to tell the family it's too early in the morning to tell them, but there's no other time to get the news. It's gonna be bad anyway we get it. So when I gave that bad news to everybody, you know, we came together as a family and we still grieving and very hurt about this video. And I mean, again, we heard like the people in Minneapolis hurting. And I'm happy to know great people showing they have they mixed feelings, emotions, and we burning with desire and fire. We want justice for my brother, you know, and we're gonna get our justice.
Benjamin Crump, let me ask you about something the county prosecutor said today. He sounded like he was moving toward charges. He said there would be justice in this case. He said, "I promise you." But there was also a moment where you made a statement saying that they have to evaluate all of the evidence, every bit of the evidence, and he said that some of the evidence might not or does not support charges. What was your reaction to that line when he said some of the evidence does not support charges?
Well, I know my clients, the family of George Floyd, was disgusted. It was insult on top of injury to hear this man say that they still needed to do more investigations to have the probable cause to arrest these people for being on George's neck for over 8 minutes. And an interesting thing to note, Mayor, is the fact that there was a witness who was an EMT out there. And when you go back and watch the video, she asked 16 times, "Can I just take his pulse?" You talked about the protest started when he was alive. Well, that was the peaceful protest, but they didn't hear that. And so now that's why you have what's going on in Minneapolis today, because as Dr. King said, protest and rioting is the voice of the unheard. And that lady was unheard 16 times asking, "Can I at least just take his pulse? Y'all are killing him." And so to this district attorney, this family is disgusted that you all have not charged anybody. Every day is like another insult. And we're going to ask for Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison to take over this investigation if this week ends and he hasn't charged these officers.
And of course, we know that when the medical technicians did arrive, the very first thing that the first medical technician did was take his pulse, and he discovered that there was no pulse. Attorney Benjamin Crump, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And Rodney Floyd, thank you very much again for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're very sorry for what you and your family are going through, but we appreciate you sharing that experience with us to the extent that you can. Thank you very, very much, Rodney Floyd, for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And we're now going back to the streets of Minneapolis. We're joined now with the latest on the ground there with NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky. Morgan, what are you seeing?
Lauren, from about 2 blocks away from that police station where Ali's been reporting, and he referenced that fire we were talking about. This is what's left of that pawn shop that's been burning for the better part of the past half hour. Unfortunately, firefighters only able to move in and try to put those flames out within the past 5 minutes, simply due to the size of the crowd here. And you can see there's still plenty of anger and hostility in southern Minneapolis tonight. We know that the sound of glass is breaking just across the street. An office building is being broken into. People walking inside after breaking open those doors and windows, throwing rocks or whatever they can get their hands on. Outside of a few actors doing that, though, or individuals rather, everyone is slowly but surely at least appearing to disperse. So, Lawrence, right now we'll send it back to you.
Morgan, thank you. We're going back to Ali Velshi on somewhere else on the streets of Minneapolis. Ali, where are you? What do you have to report?
So I'm exactly halfway between the police station and the fire where Morgan is over there. The fire, as Morgan says, now only are the police able to get to it. The firefighters able to get to it. The crowd has now moved back this way. As they move back toward the police station, the police fired more gas. So we've got sort of a wave of gas that's just come our way. I can now see very clearly that fire, another fire right over there. a third fire over there. So there are 3 fires within very clear sight. And if you look over to the police station, you can see remainders of gas canisters. They continue to throw gas canisters out, and once in a while you'll hear a flashbang. So what's happening now is this crowd of protest is moving between different centers of gravity. They're not dispersing. They're not going home. The police have found an effective way of getting them away from the 3rd precinct for a little while. But basically, unless they're going to stand there all night and throw gas canisters in, this crowd is resilient. And to the point that you and Mr. Floyd's brother was talking about is that people here are.
You're part of the problem.
I appreciate that. Thank you. My point is that there are people here who are really, really angry about the systemic issues that they're talking about. A gentleman, while you were having the conversation with Benjamin Crump, said to me, "Why are we talking about lynching? Why are we talking about
people? You're part of the problem."
So there are some people out here who are sort of just pushing into the police station, but there are a lot of people here with very serious grievances that they say are not being addressed. And it's hard to make out with the thousands of people out here who's who. But there are protesters.
Your viewers to urge cops to stop killing people.
And that's the kind of hate, Lawrence, that you're seeing out here tonight. That's what's going on. There are people here who are very, very angry about the police, and the police seem to have taken the message that they're not on the streets here right now. So we do not see the National Guard present.
Fuck racism.